Level 1, the runner. You carry a sealed crate through a border checkpoint. No logo, no paperwork, just a number written in marker. They told you not to open it, so you didn't. Small arms move like this every day. Pistols, rifles, old Soviet stockpiles. Routes through the Balkans, Central Asia, parts of Eastern Europe. Cheap, quiet, hard to trace. You're just the courier, disposable, replaceable. The guard barely looks at you. Someone already paid him to look away. That's when you understand something important. This isn't random. This is organized. You drop the crate, you get paid instantly. No delays, no negotiation. Fast money, easy work. You tell yourself it's temporary, but as you walk away, you notice the weight wasn't just physical. You weren't supposed to know what's inside. Level 2, the broker. You stop carrying weapons. Now you carry contacts, names, numbers, encrypted chats. You connect buyers and sellers who never meet. Arms brokers exist in a gray zone. Some deals are legal, many are not. Regulation depends on the country and how much they care. You learn quickly. Paperwork matters more than bullets. A shipment can be legal on paper, even if the destination says otherwise. You arrange your first deal. 2 parties, 1 shipment, 0 direct contact. You take a percentage. It's more money than you've ever seen. No risk, no fingerprints. That's what you think. Until one buyer asks a simple question. Can you guarantee delivery? You hesitate. Then you say, yes. You don't sell guns. You sell access. Level 3, the network builder. You build something that doesn't exist. Companies with real addresses, websites that look legitimate, directors who aren't real people, shell companies. The global arms trade depends on them. Money flows through offshore accounts. Ownership disappears behind layers of paperwork. Each transaction becomes harder to trace. You create routes. One country exports, another country approves transit, a third country receives, unofficially. Everything looks clean on paper. Nothing is clean in reality. Deals now involve multiple governments, even if they don't know it, or pretend not to. You sit behind a screen, watching it all connect. Money moves first, then paperwork, then cargo, in that order. And once it starts, it doesn't stop. The deal touches 3 borders before it's even approved. Level 4, the sanctions dodger. You learn the rules, then you learn how to bend them. Sanctions exist to stop certain weapons from reaching certain places, but enforcement depends on cooperation, and cooperation isn't guaranteed. You reroute shipments through third-party countries, places not flagged, not monitored closely. A shipment leaves legally, disappears mid-route, then reappears somewhere else entirely. On paper, everything checks out. In reality, it never followed the original path. You start working with freight forwarders, logistics firms, intermediaries. Each one knows only their part. No one sees the full picture, except you. One mistake ends everything. One document mismatch, one inspection, one leak. You double-check everything, then triple-check. Still, you never feel safe. The shipment disappears, then reappears somewhere else. Level 6, the supplier liaison. You meet the suppliers, not criminals, not street dealers, people with access, warehouses filled with surplus military equipment, old stockpiles, decommissioned weapons, forgotten inventories. Real governments sell surplus arms, sometimes legally, sometimes quietly. You sit across from someone in a clean office. He speaks like a businessman, not a smuggler. He doesn't ask who the buyer is. You don't ask where the weapons came from. You both understand the arrangement. Everything is indirect. Everything is deniable. That's the system. You walk through a storage facility, rows of crates, marked, cataloged, official. This isn't chaos. This is structure. And suddenly, the scale changes. This isn't black market anymore. It's something bigger. Level 7, the conflict profiteer. You start watching the news differently, not for headlines, for opportunities. Conflict zones drive demand, civil wars, border tensions, regional instability. Where there's uncertainty, there's profit. You track regions, you monitor embargoes, you follow supply gaps. You already know who will need weapons next, before they do. That's when it gets harder. You understand where your shipments are going, who might use them, what might happen after delivery. You tell yourself the same thing every time. It's just business. But the thought lingers. Would it still be business if you were there? You take the deal anyway, because someone else will if you don't. The war isn't your problem, but your money depends on it. Level 8, the invisible operator. You disappear. Not physically, digitally, legally, publicly. Your real name stops appearing anywhere. Accounts are layered, communications encrypted. Every contact goes through intermediaries. You don't meet clients anymore. They don't meet you. You exist behind systems, behind networks, behind other people. That's how high-level operators survive. Plausible deniability. If something goes wrong, there's always another layer between you and the truth. You gain control, but lose something else. Identity. You can't tell who you trust anymore, or if anyone trusts you. You exist everywhere and nowhere. Level 9, the political asset. The deals get bigger. Not just weapons, influence. Arms trade and geopolitics are connected. Governments lobby, alliances shift, interests collide. You start seeing patterns. Who buys, who supplies, who benefits. Some deals aren't about profit. They're about balance, power, leverage. You become useful, not just to buyers, but to systems. Your connections matter. Your knowledge matters. You're no longer reacting. You're shaping outcomes. A shipment arrives, and a conflict changes direction. You sit back and watch. One deal changes who wins. Level 10, the liability. Then everything shifts. Calls stop coming, messages go unanswered, people distance themselves. You weren't supposed to notice, but you do. Investigations happen quietly. Sanctions lists grow. Names get added, sometimes removed. You hear stories, operators disappearing, accounts frozen, networks collapsing overnight. No warnings, no explanations. You start looking over your shoulder. Every transaction feels heavier. Every message feels risky. You realize something you ignored before. You know too much. And in this world, that makes you dangerous. The system protects itself, not you. Level 10, the ghost exit. The offer comes without warning. One message, one chance. Disappear or be exposed. New identity, clean documents, no past. You've seen it happen before. Now it's your turn. You hesitate, not because of fear, because of everything you're leaving behind. The money, the power, the control. But you also remember something else. How it started. A crate, a border, a simple job. You accept. Everything is erased. Accounts closed, contacts gone, records wiped. You become no one. Finally. You finally become what you've been selling. Invisible. Ending. You open a passport with a different name. New country, new life, no history. For a moment, it feels over. Then your phone lights up. Unknown number, encrypted message. New client,
Same rules. You stare at the screen, and somewhere, a crate is already moving.